Getting started with Trivy and Jenkins. When you are assembling your application, you usually start with your build tools such as Maven or NPM. Next, you probably do some sort of static analysis against your code using a tool such as SonarQube. But have you reached the point yet to where you're using a vulnerability scanning tool for your artifacts? One option is Trivy from Aqua Security. In this video, we're going to look at how we can use Trivy inside of a Jenkins pipeline. Here's today's starting point. I have a Jenkins LTS controller. It's version 2.303.3. Attached to this controller, I have a Linux-based agent running Docker, and I also have the Trivy binary installed. We're also using a sample repository today. The sample repository is linked down in the description. And this sample repository is one that I've used in other videos, but I'm using the Trivy branch today. So if you go take a look at the sample repository, make sure that you pick the Trivy branch. Now what we have is a very simple Spring Boot application that is going to be packaged as a container image. So we have a Docker file, and we have 3 different Jenkins files that we're going to be going through in this example. And as you can see in this Docker file, we're using multi-stage builds. So we're going to be doing all of our Maven build within this Docker build image. And then the build image, just like you would do in a multi-stage build, the necessary contents from that image are copied into our final image. So let's go over to our controller and set up the job for Jenkins file 1. So we'll go here, new item. We'll call this Java Web App, pipeline OK. We'll use pipeline from SCM, change this to Git, paste in our repository URL. And we are using the Trivy branch. And finally, we're going to do Jenkins file -1. Before we run this, let's go take a look at what Jenkins file 1 is. So what we're going to be doing is a Docker build, and then we're going to be scanning using Trivy our image that we built. So we're doing a Docker build for Darren Pope / java-web-app:/latest, and then we're going to be scanning that same image. So let's go back over to our controller and let's go ahead and click on Build Now. And as this starts up, we see our Docker build. We're doing our build, and this will take just a few moments, so we'll fast forward through this. And now that the build completed, we have Trivy running against our image. So let's scroll up and take a look at the output here. What we see is it gives us a need to update DB. There is a database behind Trivy that allows it to figure out what kind of vulnerabilities might be there. So if you don't have a fresh version of the database, it's going to automatically, by default, download that database for you. And then from there, we have our progress. So this is sort of ugly when you're looking inside of Jenkins, but go with me for a few minutes. At least we know it's making progress. Then we see that it found Alpine, which is our base image based on the OpenJDK image that we're using. It's checking for Alpine vulnerabilities. And then it also found some jars because we built a Java-based app using Spring Boot. And what we see here is within our Alpine image, there were no vulnerabilities found. So all 5 here, unknown, low, medium, high, and critical, are all zeros. But we found within the jars, we found one jar that has a medium severity. But let's scroll back up here for just a minute. Let's think here for just a minute and say that, okay, we want to clean up our output here within our build. We can suppress our progress, which is good. We'll go through and do that in a moment. And we also want to only be able to track both high and critical. So we want to go ahead and ignore anything less than high. So how do we do that? Well, if we go back over to our repository and take a look at Jenkins file 2, here's what we have. We have no progress, so that will suppress the progress output that happened in our log. We're specifying the severities that we want to report on, and in this case, it's a comma delimited list. And right now we're specifying just high and critical. And we're also including exit code 1. And what exit code means is this will be the exit code that's returned if Trivy finds anything in the case of high or critical, and it will return it as a failure. So the exit code will be 1. By default, exit code is always 0. But in the case of a failure, and I'm defining failure as I found either a high or critical, then I want to go ahead and return an exit code 1. And since we're running this through a shell step, then if an exit code 1 is returned, then our job will fail, which is what we would want. We would not want any other processes to continue on after a failure. So let's go ahead and modify our job to use Jenkins File 2, and let's see how the output changes. So we'll go back here, configure, and go to Jenkins File 2. And let's go ahead and do a build now. So if we take a look at 2, this is going to run a lot faster because we have things cached at this point. So we built our image. We see our no progress, exit code 1, severity high and critical. We don't see a progress bar, if you will, as we go through the log output. And we only see highs and criticals listed for both the Alpine scan and our jar scan. So at this point, everything is successful. Now, when we ran that first job, we saw that we had a medium severity item pop up during the scan. Well, let's say that we've now changed our processes and we want to include not only criticals and highs and make sure that we have zeros of those, but we also want to have 0 mediums. So critical, high, medium, if we find any of those, we want this job to fail. So what we want to do is go take a look at our Jenkins File 3, which is just adding medium to our severity. So this is exactly the same as Jenkins File 2, except for medium. So let's go back over to our job, make the change. Whoops, hit the wrong thing here. Configure, there we go. And let's go and change 2 to 3. Now that other job is finished already, so that's good. So let's go ahead and now run this one. So we'll click on Build Now. If we take a look at the output run of 4, we see that it failed. And why is that? Well, we added in a medium severity. So we're saying, okay, we're looking for medium, high, and critical. We didn't find anything of those within the Alpine scan, but within the jar we found 1 medium. And since we specified an exit code of 1, then when Trivy completed, it returned an exit code of 1, which signaled back to our controller, the SH step, that this failed, and that's now why we have a failure within this job. Now, everything we've demonstrated up to this point is just scanning our final image. But what if you wanted to be able to scan your intermediate image? Your business rules may have changed to where now not only your final images have to pass vulnerability scanning, but also your intermediate images that you're using in that multi-stage build also have to pass. Well, what we can do, if we go back over to our Docker file, is I had some commented lines in here. And what we can do is we can add in the Trivy scanner to scan our build image. So if you remember back from here, we're saying from adopt OpenJDK 11 as build. But now I can scan even that, because when Maven does this build here, it's going to be pulling down lots of different jar files and other items that support Maven. And some of those items might be considered vulnerable. And we would want to try to resolve those if we possibly could. But what we're going to see here in this scan is something a little bit different. Up to this point, we've just been saying Trivy and the image name. And that's actually shorthand for Trivy image and then the image name. There are multiple different ways you can run Trivy. And if you see here in line 15, we're going to run Trivy root fs. And that's going to be looking across the whole image. So from root, checking for Alpine, checking for jars, checking for everything. So let's go ahead and save this file and commit it up to our repository. And let's go ahead and run this job. So we're saving this. We've pushed it up. Let's flip back over here to our Java web app. We're going to leave our Jenkins File 3 in place. The only change that we've made is to our Docker file. So if we go ahead and click on Build now, when we take a look at the output for 5, we can see that we're doing our Docker build. That's normal. Here's our as build. But then we get down to these steps, from build as vuln scan. Then we're copying Trivy from the Trivy image into our intermediate container. And then we're running Trivy root fs, not showing the progress bar going against root. Now we're also not changing our exit code at all. So whether this passes or fails, it's always going to succeed. So needed to update the database, detected OS. It found some Go binaries. It's checking for jars because within our final image, we didn't have any Go dependencies. All we had was just Java. If we take a look here, our Alpine image is actually all okay. But if you look within jars, we see lots of potential problems. We have 5 criticals, 10 highs, 5 mediums, and 3 lows. These range from something as low with Guava to the point of doing something with Commons IO from 2.2 to 2.6. Many different items here. But again, we're going to assume because our intermediate container is thrown away, we really don't care long term, but we want this information so we can make a decision going forward of, okay, how tightly secure do we want our intermediate containers to even be? So we'll go ahead and scroll through the end of that. It removes the intermediate container, so that's all gone. We build our final container image, and then we take a look at it, and then we're back to our normal medium 1 with just the Jakarta-EL item. In addition to being able to scan container images, Trivy gives you the ability to scan a local project, including language-specific files. It also gives you the ability to scan a root FS, just like we saw just a few moments ago. But that can be a virtual machine image, it could be a host machine, or even an unpacked container image file system. You can also scan a remote Git repository. So at this point, it's up to you. Is it time to add vulnerability scanning to your pipeline or not? If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us on Twitter @CloudBees. If this video was helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to CloudBees TV yet, why not? Take a moment, click on that subscribe button, and then ring that bell, and you'll be notified anytime there's new content available on CloudBees TV. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.